Detroit Public Schools Community District.
It missed a big deadline that would have led to millions of dollars for the district. Fox 2's Erica Erickson with more on this multi-million-dollar mistake.
How the heck does this happen?
What happens when you don't have the right people in place and you don't have systems and processes in place?
How does the old Detroit School District miss out on $6.5 million to help pay off about $2 billion in legacy debt? Apparently by forgetting to submit paperwork.
Ultimately, I think we are all responsible, including myself.
Superintendent for Detroit Public Schools Community District Nikolai Vitti says Friday that August 15th was the deadline to submit paperwork to the state, which reimburses districts for lost debt millage funds. Vitti says that paperwork was never finished.
This isn't an act of corruption. This is just but this is an example of people not owning their work.
Vitti says he discovered the paperwork wasn't done this week, adding that he was told the outgoing CFO said he'd handle it, passing it on to the executive director to complete.
And then there was a significant blame game going on about who should have signed it, who didn't sign it, whether it was provided or not. But ultimately, not to sugarcoat it, it wasn't signed. It's inappropriate. It's unacceptable.
Vitti says although losing this chunk of money won't affect day-to-day operations.
It doesn't take money out of the classroom. It doesn't reduce funding for instruction or for programming.
And won't impact the debt being paid off by 2049. But it would have helped pay down that legacy debt a lot sooner.
My job is to hold people accountable, including myself, not make excuses, and ensure that this doesn't happen.
Board member Lamar Lemons furious Friday, telling Fox 2 in part, quote, the failure of the district to secure these funds has a tremendously negative effect on all of the citizens and taxpayers of the city of Detroit. The responsibility for this fiasco ultimately rests on the duly elected school board and the current superintendent. The buck stops here. And board president Iris Taylor adds, quote, the superintendent properly informed the school board. He also has clearly reported back to the board regarding what occurred and the accountability measures that have and will be taken. In the end, we are all responsible for rebuilding the district.
As the executive director, as we were looking into what happened and how the ball was dropped, he indicated that he was going to resign.
But despite missing this deadline, Vitti says he isn't losing all hope.
We're hopeful that we can work together to either find another pot of dollars that could be served to fill that 6.5 reimbursement gap.
And if not, Vitti says they simply have to take responsibility for not submitting that paperwork.
But Detroiters need to know that I'm dead serious about getting this right.
In Detroit, Erica Erickson, Fox 2 News.